Here we go, baby. Episode 26 of Chicklets Game Notes. Myself, Colby Armstrong, the Arm Dog, and there he is right there. The biggest beauty ever, Matt Murley. Merle, everybody rides. And this episode is all brought to you and presented by Peter Millar. Merles.
Hey, golf season has officially arrived, and that's why we're here to tell you about the new lineup of performance polos from our friends at Peter Millar. This season, we're big fans of their Kelly and Hogan hard collar polos. These shirts are inspired by vintage golf polos and feature classic design touches like a 4-button plaquette in their signature performance fabrications. Performance benefits like 4-way stretch, moisture wicking, and UPF sun protection will have you playing your best, while the new seasonal designs will ensure you play your next round in style. Be sure to head over to petermillar.com/chicklets. Check out all their performance apparel. That's Peter Millar, the official outfitter of the USGA.
Thank you, Peter Millar. What an ad read. Boy, Merles.
Oof.
Welcome. So we had to bump the show. We had to bump the show to 2:00 today. So thanks for hanging there with us. I see the chat's filling up. Chat, love you. Thank you for coming here. Did you see just now? I just saw it, the thumbnail that they posted for our show.
No.
Can you put it up? Can someone put it up? It's hilarious. I don't know why. It's like the opposite of our Zempic. I don't know if we can get it. I could show it on my phone if we can't get it.
While we're waiting for that, the Chicklets, I just saw it in the comments. There it is.
Oh my God. I'm two characters. I'm the opposite of our Zempic, and you're like, I mean, you got off easy. And then
I didn't know if that was even me in there.
I'm Mick Lovin too. Who did that? That's hilarious. I saw that comment. Sorry, go ahead. Where were you? That's hilarious.
No, I just saw in the chat too while you were working the chat. Welcome to chat. I saw Zach Boychuk in there. I want to congrats him on another German championship. Berlin took home the trophy. So congrats to our loyal chat guy.
Yeah,
big
that's
win
huge
for them.
Yeah, the chat, they're champions. They're champions in the chat. Yeah. That's what we do, Merles. That's what we do for these guys.
We're just winners. We just win at everything.
So I flew out this morning, though, and, obviously watched the game last night, got up this morning, flew out this morning, got a car ride service here, get here. I'm like, okay, I'm ahead of schedule. Everything's good. I would have been late for the 1:00 show, though. Checked into my room. I'm starving. I go get food. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get a hold of Biz the entire time. Where's Biz? Because I'm actually in Biz's podcast cave right now, Merles.
I recognize the background.
Yeah, I'm in it. Yeah, it's like it's in the corner of his room with like a light set up here on a table. He has a full operational setup. It's pretty sick, but like it's just like I'm like just in the back like this in the hotel grinding with Biz. I couldn't get a hold of him. I came in, he was like seemed real dopey, like sleepy. And
I feel like it's got to smell like weed and hookers in there.
It does. On the other side of the table, like where my camera is, on the other side, he's got shit all over it on the table here, like stuff. I was just
is the bed made?
The bed is kind of made, yes.
Normally he is never made whenever he has that in the background.
I know. Well, I think he already did like a show today already. This guy's a workhorse. Yeah. He's living out of this hotel room. So technically I'm in his house right now, but I couldn't get a hold of him. And I was like, G was trying to call everybody to get him, like to find him. Cause I'm like, I can't get a hold of this guy. And so 10 minutes before the show, I finally got up and in here, but I beat you here, Merles. I beat you on the show. What the heck is that?
I got a lot going on here. I was out. I got the kids. I'm up.
Gotta hear this.
I'm up, take the kid to school. She snuck out of the house on me in like these dress sandals. And I'm just kind of like take her to school and didn't realize it till I'm walking her into the school. Like you can't be wearing those, she needs her running shoes on. So I do that. I do a down and back, he'll bag skate, bring her back the shoes. And then I had to go to the store. So I run to the store. Kentucky Derby party tomorrow. Got to get all the good stuff. Got to get the chips, got to get the dips, all that good stuff. I also have a first communion tomorrow. Had to go to the bank, get cash. Nobody ever has cash anymore.
You're the king. You're the king of running around doing the easiest.
Put in the first communion card. You got to do that. I had a bag of laundry. I had to drop off at Goodwill. Get gas in the car. I come back. I got to go out for my hero run. Stay in the race with you to get thin. And then here we are. You know,
Hey,
running
those
around.
those don't even count as things, buddy.
One of the ones was put gas in the car.
Yeah, big one.
Yeah,
A lot of work.
I was surprised he didn't list breathing as one of the things. He had. I mean, this is unbelievable, Merle. So busy. Aaron Boy Merles, they call in the chat. Brownie.
And then also the reason I was really late, I was doing my homework on our special guest we have today.
Oh yeah, I'm so fired up for this.
So
I
I was
don't know.
O's. We have O's, the Mentalist, coming on. We're gonna talk Leafs. We're gonna talk everything. But I dug deep in. I was on looking at his shows on America's Got Talent. I was looking at all this stuff, trying to find out all about him. So we're ready for the show. I'm working.
O's the Mentalist and Merle's the concierge. That's good.
Yeah.
You guys will hit it off, I'm sure. I saw that in the chat. Someone said that. Merle's the concierge, man. I love it. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm pumped about this. And obviously he made that, he's done some amazing things. You can look him up on YouTube and find him anywhere and all the stuff that he's done. High energy, really cool guy. But like he made that, like Biz brought it up on the podcast, from Carlo Koliakovo up in Toronto off his radio show, had him on as a guest, and he predicted the Leafs would win this series in comeback fashion, dramatic comeback fashion. And then he even, Carlo posted a message of him. They're texting each other apparently. And he had a prediction of the game that the Leafs are going to run away with it, something, and it might even be a shutout. Of course, we know the shutout got broken at 0.01 seconds, which was crazy. If you want to, so he almost got that right.
Yeah.
But now tell me what you were putting in our chat last night.
Which one? Oh, yeah. So I'm just sitting there and I'm getting bored with the night. It's just like these shots. Nobody's getting their shots off, and it's a couple guys are there. I had 2 out of 3 guys hit. But I'm just I need action. I need more. I need more action. So I did a little live bet, Leafs -1.5. And I'm better than that. I should have done next goal, because my whole thinking was they're going to get the empty net goal. And I've been burnt on this before, where you get it and then the other team scores a meaningless goal. And I should have known. I should have been better. But I had Leafs -1.5. Nylander gets the breakaway. I don't even need the empty net. I'm laughing. I kind of I wasn't even watching. And then all of a sudden I see they're reviewing for a goal, and 0.1 seconds, and I got burnt.
Hold on a second. If you can make the other
Brutal.
live show pictures in picture accessible. Some guy's asking tech questions there.
Whoa.
Cyrus 23 right there.
Buddy,
Gee,
we're here for
that's
picks.
I know. I don't know what this guy's talking about in the chat. Love the chat though. What a game last night. It was tight checking. I found it to be.
It was so bad.
It was
so
really
bad
low
for a
event.
while.
Like, what did you
Low
make
event.
What did you make of Boston too? Like, I thought they would come in. Biz had a good point in the walk-in. They looked tight. They played kind of tight. Marchand, I didn't even know if he was playing. Like, he missed that one little rebound. He couldn't corral it on his backhand. He might have scored right there. But other than that, they kept him in check pretty good. Pasta was falling all over the place. Who put that? Was that you that put that out last night? Like, what's up with Pasta?
You've been on the Pink Whitney all day.
Yeah, that's what
like.
Yeah, it's
He
just
did not look good.
I don't know what to make of it. I like Swayman looks cool and calm, but this Wall on the other side, Jacob Wall he might turn out just being the massive difference maker they need.
Yeah, and I saw the interview after not last night's game, the game before, where he's just like, he's calm. He's so awesome. And that's how the team is playing. When you're just got that goalie, a calming influence, it calms the whole team down. It's not this erratic goalie all over the place. Remember when Cheeser was great for us in Wilkes-Barre, Kyoto? You just knew you had a good goalie back there, and it just made you so much more relaxed. It was really something. And I don't know who it was talking about it, saying the Bruins players are probably not thinking about the 3-1 blown. Of course they're thinking about that. Are you you're nuts? They're like, oh my God, we can't blow this again.
Yeah.
We're going to blow this again. I was like, of course they are. The coach is too. The whole city is. RA, I haven't heard from RA since they lost.
Yeah. I think I called him Jacob Wall. It's Joe Wall. Joseph Wall. My bad. I see the chat giving it to me.
Merles, you didn't listen to RA's Spaces last night live from the bar?
No.
You could barely hear him.
I didn't hear it either. What did he do? Give us
that.
a quick Cole's notes.
I don't know.
Canada.
Couldn't hear a word he said. He
Really?
was in the middle of a live. He was a bar with music playing. He was talking to people. You couldn't hear a single thing.
Unprofessional. Unprofessional Spaces.
Marbles in his mouth as always.
Absolutely marbles in his mouth. We wouldn't have it any other way. All right, let's get to the chat lay. We got a little chat lay put together for you before we get going. Here's a chat lay. Option A, we're going to have for you guys as the home option, the home team option, plus 245, Nashville, Vegas. Option B, chat, our great chat that you guys decide, everybody rides, is the away teams, Vancouver and Dallas, 292 plus 292. Great little parlay put together, little chat lay for the chat.
Little party cities there. Option A, maybe could have been a different name. Party towns.
Van
and Dallas, they're good cities, but I don't know if they're as party-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know either.
We'll get to our picks later. I'm gonna take in some of our guests' picks first, maybe if he gives us some picks or a little insight on something. But we'll get to our picks after him.
All right, you want to snap it around a little bit around the NHL? I mean, that's the Toronto-Boston Game 6 right there for you in a nutshell. We'll probably get back into it, obviously, with Oz the Mentalist when he pops on with us. Gee.
I got to chime in here before we move on from this Toronto-Boston series.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, give us something.
Here's where I stand. I said I would speak on game notes. Here's my thoughts. And last night I was as down as I've ever been. I had to take a walk around Hoboken around midnight, and I was in shambles. I was legit in shambles walking around Hoboken. I would say that this is my nightmare. This is my full-blown nightmare. How could the Bruins do this to us again? And let's be honest. I mean, the Bruins have been absolutely brutal. They've gotten zero offense from the center position. Especially, I said coming into this fucking thing that the center position is going to provide offense. They provided more offense than they did last year. Of course, I was wrong. Pasta's clearly hurt. Monty making the lineup changes after game 5 made zero sense. The big dogs have been absolutely invisible for the biggest games of the season. But we all need to remember one thing and one thing only here. We're dealing with the Toronto Maple Leafs, the biggest choke artists in NHL history. The core 4 may be the biggest frauds in NHL history. I love the Bees in game 7. Give me the Bees. Get to Boston early. Hit the greatest bar. Get the Pink Whitney shots flowing and get into the Garden. And I want you to be as loud as the Garden has ever been in Boston Garden history. Let's go, Bees. I love the Bruins tonight or tomorrow night. And
tonight and tomorrow night.
Got this, baby.
Oof.
They look like they're shook right now, G. And I don't blame you for doing the nightmare walk around Hoboken, because I mean, they've got to find something. Maybe they should step out and go for a walk around Boston, wherever they live. I hear stories, these guys walking their dogs. You know, maybe Allmark Swayman can do a hug in the street, the big goalie hug. They need to do something. Pasta, go to the tailors, get another funky suit built out. I don't know what they need, but they look like they have no mojo. They look like they're
zero.
Done.
They look horrible. Horrible. And Murrows, I mean, Monty, what the Boston fans. So let me come at you from the Boston fans standpoint. All my group chats right now are saying if they lose this game, you fire Monty immediately. I'm not in that case. Like I don't believe they should fire Monty if they do lose this game. But I'd love to hear from you guys on Monty as a whole, how he's handled this series, how he's handled the goalie decisions, the lineup changes, kind of everything revolving Monty.
Merle, yeah, he give it to us.
All right, yeah, he looked a little upset in that press conference last night. He's probably like almost out of answers too, because for 2 games in a row to show up and not get any shots in the first period is it's crazy. Like you can't even get a shot. It's the Maple Leafs. They have the worst D in the world. You can't even get a shot on goal. So he's probably kind of flustered. I think now the goalie, are you guys playing Swayman? Are you guys all happy? Swayman, did he make?
Yeah, he's been incredible.
Right? He's been incredible. That's fine. And I had this guy ask me the same thing. What do you think if they lose? Which is, of course, you Bruins fans are already thinking about losing. You're like, if we lose, are they going to fire Monty? I'm like, well, you have to remember, they weren't even supposed to make the playoffs last year. They weren't even supposed to make it this year. They lost their 2 best guys, according to every Bruins fan in the world. And look what he's done for you guys. So he's made 2 years. You guys are going for the President's Trophy this year. Again, you won it 1 year. So, yeah, of course, the playoffs isn't great, but how much is that really his fault when Pasa and Marchand don't show up? Is Pasha right about Zacha? That guy is terrible last night. He did nothing.
Boys, I don't want to come in here, stir the pot. I don't want to chirp. I just want to leave you with one statistic. Pavel Zacha, 18 career playoff games, 0 goals.
Wow. Is that
Not
right?
wrong.
Bomb.
Not
That's
wrong
a
at all.
Wow.
Pasha bomb right there. That's
That's the
bomb.
only thing
Guy's
that
a
can get him
bum.
to score now. I'm going to take his anytime goal next game.
Yeah, Pasha
So we can
bomb
roll
right
that
there.
clip.
Guy
Can I
is
ask
a
you guys
bum.
though, Colby and Murrows,
Yeah.
whose job is it? Who is this on to get the players going? You always say it's the coach's job to get the players going, but when you have vets in the room like Marchand and Pastrnak, like at what point does it fall on the players to get going? And it's not on the coach anymore.
Well, I think it's always on the players. I think it's always on the players to get going. I don't know what the coach can do. He can prepare you. He can give you like, this is what they do on their forecheck. This is what we're going to do. But it's on the players to get ready. They look shook though. Like I've lacked confidence at times through my career for extended periods of times or short periods of times, and it's fleeting. It comes and goes. The best players in the world can kind of flip it faster than the average player that can sit in there a little longer and dwell and find it's harder to find a way to get out of it. But I think there's something up with their little it's like a mojo thing right now. It's like deer in a headlights thing. And we see teams go through this, and I don't know, it doesn't look good for me. And I, to who's playing best, Merles and boys, I would say DeBrusk looks like he's a guy that was like trade guy, like trade him. To me, DeBrusk has the most jump. He's the most involved. He's on pucks. He wins battles. He creates and is all over the place, and he can kind of do it all too. He's physical. He's good around the net. He makes things happen, but he's their best player in the last few games that I've seen, and he's been good in this series in its totality so far. So those other guys, and I think Monty's dart to Pasta, like we need more, is a nice way of saying it in the media. And I imagine it's probably different behind closed doors. It's like, wake the fuck up. That's what it is.
Yeah,
I thought
he's probably tried
Buccigross-
everything else, and this is the last. Like, all right, I got to try to take him in the media now. He's got to try everything.
Yeah.
This is it. Calling all cars.
That's
Game
the last
7.
move. Usually, that's the last move because you're going to get asked about it, and he did, of course. But coaches will, design an answer around pushing it down the road when you need it. But obviously, it's going to Game 7 now, and he laid down the gauntlet on him in the media. That's always the coach's move. That's how a coach gets guys ready if he really has to. You use the media when you have to, and Monty did last night.
I thought Buccigross had a really good tweet kind of just about the Bruins whole situation. He said the Bruins have 4 bottom 6 centers and no offensive dynamic D. Good for their roles, but not for generating offense. Zacha, 18 playoff games, 0 goals. Coyle, no goals in this series, 5 in his last 31. Anything can happen in one game, but over the long haul against good teams, Boston is dependent on 63, who turns 36 in 8 days, and 88. If they get a point like they did in the first 4, tomorrow they'll probably win. If they don't, they probably won't. And it's as simple as that. If Marchand and Pastrnak come to play, they're on the score sheet. I think the Bees win this game. If not, I don't think they do.
I agree with him 100%. Like I was watching last night, and like the mobility of they're all just the same guy. You know what I mean? On the back end, like McAvoy, obviously a little more involved all over. Lindholm was skating back for a puck last night. It looked like he was wearing like 3 knee braces on his knees. He couldn't even barely bend his knees. I was like, what's going on? That doesn't look like normal. Yeah. I was like, what's going on with this guy? So it's like,
boys, we got a special guest here. Sorry,
we got him.
We got a special guest. Let's bring him in to give us his predictions.
Let's go. Great introduction, by the way, Posh.
Gentlemen,
intro.
how are you?
Yeah,
There he is. Oz. Is it Oz, right?
Oz. It's a weird Israeli name, man. You got to blame my parents. It looks like Oz. It should be Oz.
Yeah. Oz Perlman, the Mentalist. We've seen your work all over the place. Amazing, mind-blowing stuff that you've performed live on interviews like this over the computers or online. And you work with, Fortune 500 companies all the way, to sports teams. Amazing. Welcome to our show. We're so pumped to have you because you made huge headlines, Oz, with your big Leafs thing right now. And so that's
riding the wave. I said it to Carlo at 3-1. I texted him. I went on his show. He goes, what do you think? I said, the Leafs are going to win this thing. They're coming back all the way. Every single game I told him. Last night was bananas because I told him, I think you should read exactly what I wrote him was, I go, the Leafs are going to run away with it the whole game, possibly a shutout. And at with 1 second left, I winked to him and I said, so close. It's what I wrote to him. And then they scored at 0.1 seconds. He literally, I think, is throwing holy water at effigies of me because it got scary. I'm like, yo, man, I'm not a psychic. I don't know the future. I'm just kind of watching the game and thinking this is what's going to happen.
You feel the vibes. You just feel the vibes. You're a vibes guy, probably.
I
and you
feel
really
the vibes. I think
Yeah.
this is going to be an insane game 7. I think this is going to be the game of the series. I think Toronto's going to be chasing the Bruins the entire time. They're going to be coming from behind. I would love to see this go into OT, like a high-scoring 2-2 or 3-3 game, one you talk about for years, but it's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't see this being a 1-0 snooze fest.
Don't do this to me,
my
Oz. Don't do
goodness.
that to me.
Yep.
Mark that down. Clip that already. That is already one in the books. Carlo did post your little chain text thread. I read it this morning. Pretty amazing stuff just to see it and kind of time stamped when you were sending it and everything.
This is before the game started. This
Yeah.
is all you got to understand. There's no trick here. He was putting it on blast. I told him, man, people get mad because they bet on what I tell. And I have good statistically, I've done very well, but I'm not psychic. If you want to bet on this, do it at your own discretion. I think I'm going to be right, but we'll see.
If I could you just tell us, you're not a psychic, so tell us a little bit about this
Not
kind
psychic
of
at all.
operation that you perform and what you would do, and where that lies, I guess, in the was it magic community? Is that where it kind of lies in entertainment, obviously, but
I got to give you guys a good story that intersects with NHL hockey. You ready? I grew up Hockey Town, USA in Michigan, Detroit during the 90s. And when I was like a 13-year-old little twerp, I started doing magic tricks at restaurants. That was my side hustle. And I went and worked at this one restaurant half a mile from my house. And I kid you not, on the second night I worked there, some woman took my business card. She called me up and they were opening up a chain of these National Tire and Battery stores. And I did 3 of these openings, and you are not going to believe the crew that was at these. Nick Lidstrom, Paul Coffey, Dino Cicerelli, Steve Yzerman, Sergei Fedorov. Like, I met literally all future Hall of Famers, Stanley Cup champions, got my photos taken with them in the paper, Detroit Free Press. I'm like 4 foot nothing. And this launched me. So that was my come up. Had a lot of Detroit Red Wings love right there.
oh, great hockey background, local in Detroit. Amazing. Hockey
100%.
town. What a spot.
Yep. And so, that rewind 28 years ago, that's when I was doing that. And a lot has happened since. But yeah, my background is as a magician, which you think of like tricks, and then now what I do, I don't really do any magic tricks. I do what's called mentalism. So it's magic of the mind. I now know how people think, and I kind of exploit those tactics to seem to read their minds, know what they're going to do, seemingly predict the future. But what I'm really predicting is human behavior. I don't know the lottery numbers, but I can tell how people will behave.
Yeah, I've been kind of worried all day. Everything I've been going to do, I'm like, is he watching me? Does he got inside here? Is like, did he call my wife? Is he gonna? No, it's crazy.
You just called his wife.
This...
Are you talking to my wife? What's going on, Oath?
Yeah, I don't even know if this is mentalist or anything, but I have this Detroit Red Wings T-shirt. Obviously, I haven't got to wear it since the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs, so I went running actually today in my Red Wings T-shirt. So there's a little something already starting. Some good vibes for us.
I like
amazing stuff.
You know what? Let's do something fun. Colby, you want to get in on this, Colby?
I would love. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is amazing.
So hear me out. Okay. We think back and NHL playoffs. I think, regular season's fun, but it doesn't have that level of gravitas, right? Where every game, everything counts. These guys put their whole life on the line for this season to try to hold up that Stanley Cup, with so few get to do. I want you to imagine that, Colby, you got a book in your hands with every year, starting with last year, bam, 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 until your memory ceases. And even if you want to go back before then, and you're flipping through the pages of past Stanley Cup finals. Can you visualize yourself doing this?
Yes.
Okay. And you go back and you stop. Okay. And you're going to relive this. A Stanley Cup that, for whatever reason, maybe it was epic. Maybe it was your team. Maybe it was whatever. I don't know what made you pick this in the moment, but you're back in time to a specific Stanley Cup finals that you can clearly visualize. Can you see it right now?
Yes. It's a great story too.
No, don't give clues. No clues, but straight up, man, everyone watching this, so you know what they're saying? They're like, this is set up. This is fake. This guy told you. On your life, did I tell you which one to pick?
On my life did not tell me anything.
Okay, now watch, because I told you I'm not psychic. Everyone that's going to bet on this goes, this guy knows I can read people. So Colby, I know, okay, try not to react, but think to yourself, if this finals finished in 4 games, 5 games, don't say.
What if I don't know? Can I
look
it up? Can I look it up quick?
Look it up, but look it up, man. Make sure I can't see what you're looking up or anything. I want you to look this up on your own. This guy just cleared his browser history. Did you see that?
Yes.
Delete all memory and cookies and everything.
Yes, everything.
Okay.
Well, you are on business computer. I would delete that before you move on there.
Hear me out, Matt. Hear me out. Just the fact that he didn't know what it ended is telling, right? Because now you think to yourself, man, if this was like a 4-game sweep, would he have known? Now I think this is okay. Now you thought of this earlier, and now invariably, not only did you think of a playoff, but you're going to probably think of a player. Did you find out yet or no?
No. Hold on. Keep talking to Matt.
Okay. Matt,
well, I used to be a magician myself. I have probably 5 or 6 card tricks. I used to have a floating pencil trick back in the day. We used to do all this kind of stuff in the locker room.
Dude, bust that out. You're my opener. Let's get on the road.
I got it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Look at me. See, I can't guess it until you know it. Colby, look up this way. Think 4 games, 5 games, 6 games, 7 games. All right. You know what? You saw where he got attentive. Did you see that? Where the focus, it wasn't 4, it wasn't 7. If it was a 4-game sweep, my man would have known. If it was 7-game battle royale, like we're going to have, between Boston and Maple Leafs. So it tells me it's 5 or 6. My money says it was 6 games, wasn't it? Was it 6 games?
Yeah.
Guys, you're blown away, but it was 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4. But now here's where it gets crazy. Now think of that playoffs. Think of that final. It's 6 games. And I want you to narrow down, and it might have been a random player. It might have been anybody, but can you visualize in your mind the face of one of those players that was either decisive or interesting or random? It's up to you who you pick. Can you see that person in your mind right now?
Yeah. It's fucked up. My heart's beating so fast right now.
Colby, again, swear on your life, I have not told you which playoff, which final, which player. This is all anything you want to think of.
Yep. This is all me.
Here's what I think. I think you wanted this game. This is a game that went down to the wire. Game 6, overtime, 3rd overtime. I'm going to go with my money. My money says Dallas Stars beat the Buffalo Sabres. You're thinking of Golden Brett Hull scoring the 3rd OT goal. Am I right?
Not even lying. You're 100% right.
No
which is
way.
Crazy.
No way.
I wrote it down while I looked it up. Can I show my paper?
Show them. Show them.
I wrote it down when I looked it up. I wrote down Dallas Buffalo, and I didn't know games. I put game 6,
my
Brett
God.
Hall triple OT goal.
What
we all remember that the crease goal, the massive goal against the Sabres. I was in a backyard school party. I was, this is 99. I was in 11th grade. I graduated in 2000, and we weren't allowed to go in the person's house. This is why I remember it so much, because I'm a hockey nerd, but that one stands out to me because I was in the backyard watching through a window with the TV on and the game on in the house because we weren't allowed in. And I saw that goal happen. I saw everything happen. That is fucked up that you just did that and really on nothing.
That is wild.
I swear to God, that is insane.
I can't handle this.
I have chills going how you did that so quickly. Do I look that easy?
Colby's worried. Oh God, what else did he find out about me? Matt Murley,
yes.
You have played hockey. I've got Wikipedia. I can look it up. You've been all over the world, brother. Give us a quick rundown. Give me a 10-second, places you played, highlights of career. Give us some of the places you played because you've been global.
Yeah, 7 years here, Wilkes-Barre, Pittsburgh, Albany, San Antonio. Then I went to Russia, Switzerland, Sweden, Croatia, Slovakia. Ended up in Japan and South Korea. So I think.
Dude, where has this guy not been? Is the better question.
Yes, it would have been easier that way.
Favorite. One of my favorite sports movies, Jerry Maguire. Baby, show me the money. Do you have your wallet near you?
Me? No, I don't. No, I don't have. Yeah, and I have no money.
No money. No. It's like that's why I went everywhere. You know what? Do you have a pen or a marker or anything around there?
Yep. Yeah, I got a marker.
You know what? Do me a favor. Get your hand. Okay. And I want you to imagine you just named off 14 different places. I was counting them. I noticed everything. Places you've been. What team do you root for, by the way?
In the NHL?
NHL.
I'd say Colorado. I got a lot of teams. I'm like Biz.
You're an Avs
Colorado
guy
for this playoff, though.
All right. Well, yeah. All right. That's a good one. But you know what? Forget. I was going to make it. Which, if your team gets the end, we have a big party. You know what? Think of you take in your hand And Matt Murley, you spin a globe. You spin a globe. You don't know where it's going to land, brother. Just spin it, random. And then you slowly put your finger on one spot. And you know what happens when you look at this place? You look up and you go, God, I've never been there. And then it's like weird fate where you go, I not only want to go there, this is the number one place in the world I would love to go. It's like destiny came to you in this globe. Can you picture yourself going to this place right now?
Yep.
Take your hand and off camera, so I can't see it, write down this specific place on your hand. Make sure there's nobody behind you. Nobody can see this.
This is fucked up. I still
This is
can't believe
wild.
my thing because some people are saying it's great. This is not 100%. I don't even know this.
Oh,
Yeah,
did Colby saying it was a great story? Is that what helped you with the
I don't
Dallas?
know.
How many other playoff finals were great stories, gang?
Fuck,
you're
Hey,
right.
Yeah, they're all
But
good stories.
the thing that got me was he was like, "Oh, it's not 7 or 5." Do you see that one look on his face? I don't know what I look like. I don't know what happened. But for you, when you said that, I'm like, "Oh my god,
And
what
then
is
you
going
could
on?"
have
I
thought
didn't
of a
even know what it
different
was.
player.
I had to look up how many games it ended in. I didn't even remember that.
You're a right
Oh.
wing. I connected the dots. Brett Hull, right wing. There, you could have thought of anybody. You could have thought of a
Yeah.
goalie. Matt Murley.
Yep.
A moment ago, you imagined a globe in your hand. You spun it. You could have stopped and pointed anywhere. Folks, can't be scripted because how could I know something you didn't even know? You told me the places you played, and you know what they all have in common? They're all cold. I don't think you're going somewhere cold, brother. I think you're going somewhere warm. I think you're sitting on a beach. I think you like good food. You like good weather. And you're very specific. I don't think it's not a country. Look down at your hand one more time and imagine that you look in your hand and you look up at me. Ready? Look at me. And his lips. Starts with an M. It says Mykonos, doesn't it? It says Mykonos.
No fucking way.
Yes.
Oh my god.
He had the thing, Merles. He
Yeah,
even knew that.
Merles.
Mykonos.
Oh my god. That is sick.
Oh, so you're a sick
I
bastard.
swear,
man.
like, what the fuck?
All right, gang. If the Leafs win it,
Oh
see
my
what happens
God.
next in this playoffs. I don't know, man. I've been looking at the bracket, and it could be a good one. I mean, Florida. I
even
think they
know.
could take down Florida. Will the 57-year drought end this year? 1967. Now that I don't know. That's a tough. There's a lot of steps between there, but I think they're going to beat Boston for sure.
Wow. Mark that
Wow.
down. These are amazing. I have goosebumps all over. My heart was beating. I could feel my hand shaking after you did that. I don't know why. I don't know if that's a normal reaction.
Pretty normal.
It's just like mind-boggling almost about what just happened. I felt tears come into my eyes. It was so strange of a feeling. Besides
Matt
your
Murley might have peed a little bit. That's how good
Yeah.
it was. He might have peed a little bit.
he's
Yeah,
still in shock.
I'm in
he's still in-
shock.
He's still in shock. Is there any more predictions that you would have, or are you going to wait till maybe the second round to narrow it down, or
I think
do we
so.
have anything else from you at all for any of these games tonight? Game 6s tonight.
That was
Pretty
the one.
interesting
I'm
matchup.
all Maple Leafs on this one, buddy.
Yeah.
I've been focusing some of my attention on NBA.
And what made you go Maple Leafs? What made you, just because you went on with Carlo, or you were drawn to that, and kind of like they haven't won the cup the longest of any pro sport. There's all this attention around them. Like, it's just
I've got some history with the team too. So I did for Larry Tannenbaum, for the owner, I did something.
Yeah,
one year.
great guy.
Great guy. Did something for the Raptors. And you should ask them, the MLSE organization. Is I do like a trick in the show, and at the end of the show, I did this for them and the Leafs. So you might think I pander and just tell every team they're going to win. It's like telling every girl I'll take her to the prom. I told the Raptors at the start of the year, I said, frame this, keep this. You're going to win the championship this year. And this was at the start of the season. They hadn't played a game. And it was written down and everything. And they took it and they go, yeah, we'll see. And they won the championship that year. They brought me back the next year. And then they said, well, are the Leafs going to win? I go, no. They go, are the Raptors going to win? I said, no. So I wasn't just like kind of fluffing them. I told them the truth and I nailed it that year. I was spot on. So I've been a good luck charm for quite a few of these teams. And so I've performed for the Leafs before and I enjoyed it. It was a great time.
Let me ask you, while Merle's still changing his diaper over there,
Yeah.
what's your favorite one that you've done? I saw you did in like a random awesome one. It was for a football team. I don't remember the team. It was amazing. And you threw a ball to the guy, he caught it. There was some crazy story in there. What's your favorite one that you had for best reaction or group of people you were with?
Oh, I mean, I'll give you a quick two of them. I went to the University of Michigan. That's my alma mater. So I went back there this year. And again, good luck charm, dude. They went 15-0, national champion. So again, telling all
Michigan man, real Michigan man.
You don't understand how many teams have seen this, and all the teams keep calling because they're like, get him in to freak us out, and we want to win a championship. I can't guarantee it, but I've been good luck. So I did that for them. It was very, how do I describe it? Like, what a moment to be back at my school performing for the team. They end up winning. And the trick I did played on the Jumbotron before the game started at the national championship. So that was mind blowing. And the one you talked about with Joe Burrow for the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's what it was. Yeah.
They released this a day after he signed the biggest contract in football history, $275 million. And so the funniest part of the comments where everyone goes, yo, dude, it's set up, it's staged. And I just wrote, I go, bro, I wish I had enough money to pay this guy off. You guys know this is real, that I didn't tell you what to do. You could have done anything, but Joe Burrow got $275 million, bro. I don't have that much cash. He does what he wants. And so it was amazing for that to work out.
So this was amazing. We don't want to take up too much more of your time. If you haven't seen some of that stuff, go on YouTube or wherever you can find clips, videos. Go to Oz's website, Oz Perlman, the Mentalist.
Oz the Mentalist. It's like looks like Oz the Mentalist on Instagram. I post tons of stuff.
Oz the Mentalist, Instagram, social media. Go find him. Amazing talent, amazing gift, amazing skills. I don't know how you did that. I am literally. My hand is still shaking right now a little bit. I just I feel.
You messed up my entire weekend. I planned on great weather here, gonna go out,
Derby,
get on the patio.
Your whole head's messed up for the Derby.
Couple drinks. Yeah, that's what I was gonna lead in. I have a big Derby party tomorrow. You got to throw me one name or one pick out there or a number, something we can throw at. If it hits, we'll cut the clip. If it doesn't hit, we'll never see the end of
Derby pick.
Who is it?
Off the record, I'll give you one. Otherwise, there's going to be a stampede if I give it out.
Yeah. You can't be doing that. All the books will shut down. Everything. The websites will crash. It's insane. So, amazing stuff. We'll be following along. We'll be watching. Maybe we could have you on our show again on Game Notes. Thanks for the time. Amazing
Absolutely,
time.
Guys. Much love to Barstool. You guys treated me well. We've done so much. I've done stuff with, with everybody over there. So
that's why we need the Derby pick. Dave and Mr. Ice are down there. They need. They're going to need help.
Dave, you got to watch the clip with me and Dave one time. I did BFF's pod, and it's so funny, man. Dave doesn't enjoy this stuff. If you really fool him, he gets angry.
Yeah.
And he was just so angry at the end where he's like, I don't know how you did that, but I'm going to watch this 10,000 times, but I hate you. And I'm like, I'll take that as you love me. It was great. It was just perfect.
I don't know how you did it either. I don't know how you do it, but amazing. And amazing performances, also highly entertaining. So thank you for everything you do and entertaining us. Making us smile, making us laugh, making our minds blown. Thank you very much. Oz the Mentalist, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.
Wow.
There he goes.
I felt for sure.
Yeah. I want to double down. Like, the chat keeps saying, that was staged, that was set up. Like, in no way, shape, or form, on my mom, on my everything, that was not staged in any way, shape, or form. That was just
I want to say
madness.
So I want to say this. So I put on the group chat on, I think, Tuesday or something. I was at TNT. I got asked if I could work Friday tonight, which is why I'm back down here in Atlanta. So I said, hey, the Friday show might be messed up due to my travel. We're going to have to bump it maybe to 1 o'clock. I think it was late last night or early this morning. G reached out to us and said, hey, do you guys want to have on Oz the Mentalist at 2:15? I said, yeah, okay, that sounds good. But we're doing a show from 1 to probably 2 o'clock. So that won't work unless we can bump it, which I'll probably be late because of my flight. I didn't get to the hotel till 20 after 1. So it just worked out that we bumped it to 2, and then it worked out that we could flip, get him on the show. And that's how it happened.
Dude, I had you pegged for the first Penguins one. I was like, oh, Army's going to just pick the Penguins, Red Wings, the one he got traded.
Too, I look up
Fleury making that or the one then when they
And I was
won when
there
Fleury
for
made the
it.
save,
I
something
was
like
there
that.
for the 15,
Nope.
the back-to-back cups for the Penguins.
Yeah.
I was there working and I was along for the ride. I did the finals on radio and everything. So yeah, maybe that. But if you know me enough, which he doesn't, I'm a Montreal Canadian. I grew up a Habs fan as a kid, and Habs won the cup in '93. For me, that's like one of my best memories, Stanley Cup memories. For whatever reason, though, out of nowhere, that memory of watching Stanley Cups popped into my head because it was just so different that I was standing in the
Crazy.
backyard at a high school party watching through a window of some random person's house on the TV. I just don't get how he connected all the dots. I didn't even know what game it ended in. I knew it was an OT goal. Actually, when I looked up that it was game 7 or game 6, I saw that it was triple overtime. I didn't even remember that it was triple overtime. I knew it was overtime. That is fucking insane, boys.
Merles, did you debate
Okay.
writing another place other than Mykonos?
Yeah, what the hell was
No,
with that?
I've always wanted to go there. It's the one place I've been everywhere.
This is crazy.
Like before last year was Dublin. I finally crossed Dublin off, but it's like I'm never. You don't want to go to Greece during hockey season. So all those breaks I had in Europe, you never go to like a beach. It's not warm enough. I've been waiting to go there in the summer, but it just has never worked out. It's wild. But then I didn't. It's even funnier with this whole Merles thing, which was just hilarious.
That was the
too.
thing too, like how that
Yeah.
tied in.
He's like Mykonos. I was like,
Holy shit.
I think that was the craziest part of all this. I think no question.
The
No, I've never told anybody I want to go to Greece. And I don't think I've never heard you
No, I've
talk
never
about the
heard
Buffalo
you-
no goal. If anything, I should have been the Buffalo no goal.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was
And
awesome.
I'm usually a skeptic of stuff. Like I said, I do know the magic tricks. So I usually can
You
try
are.
to figure
You've been
stuff
doing
out.
magic tricks forever.
And like I
You're
kind of
the
know how
king.
some stuff works, but that is just
Okay.
Merles, you got to hit him up for that for the horses pick
the
too.
Derby. Yeah, Derby
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah, you
Get
got to
that
hit him up
pick.
for that. That'd be huge for the chat. Chat loves that. For all our viewers and listeners out there. Thank you. I hope you guys were as impressed as we were. I was literally shocked. The thing, it was the clincher with the Merles thing, the humming.
Yeah, I didn't even hear anything he said after that. I was just
Yeah,
like,
you had a weird. Somebody put in the chat. I saw Merles is shook.
yeah,
I
it's
saw
like,
someone say that. I was like literally like my heart was beating so fast once he did that. I literally couldn't believe it. I Googled it. I wrote it down exactly the answers here, and he said it, and that was it. That's.
I feel like the only explanation would be that he's a hacker. Like the only thing he
Yeah.
can do is like he's coming on with Colby and Merle today. He hacked your computers. He saw your Google search history. That's the only thing I could possibly think of.
Oz the hacker.
yeah.
Oz the hacker.
Got us.
He's amazing. He's amazing. What a great personality and entertainment factor in him. He could probably just sit on here and dominate all by himself. Amazing getting him on, G. That was mind blowing. First thing I thought of when that happened, man, I hope my mom's watching. Hope my
So
mom saw it. My mom.
I've always been obsessed with. I've been obsessed with magic. I love it. I went to in Vegas one time. I went to a magic show. I don't know if I ever told you this story. It was for the Bruckheimer week, and I made the decision like, oh, I'm gonna go out a night early by myself, get rid of like kind of the jet lag, and and I'll just be by myself. I'll go to a magic show because we never go to shows when we're out there on boys trips. So I fly out there. I go to this magic show. I bought front row. I said, I'm going to figure out every trick. Like, I'm going to know. I know a magician. I know this stuff. I sat right there. I couldn't see a thing. It was Lance Burton. It was amazing. What do you think I do after the show? Back to the blackjack tables. Lost all my money. I drank like 15 Coronas. Woke up in the morning, hungover, like puking in my shower. To the start of the Bruckheimer tournament. Like Miggs and Conley are down the lobby. Hey, buddy, we're here. Let's get it going. I'm like, no, I'm hurting.
Yeah. Solo mission, gong show.
Merles, what magic tricks can you do?
He has card tricks. He's a card guy.
Yeah, a lot of card tricks. Yeah, a lot of card tricks. I used to have a floating pencil trick I used to bring around with me. A couple other little things. But
was I with you? Did you? I remember back in the day in Wilkes, we were in, I think, San Antonio. And it wasn't the San Antonio River Rock stories we're used to telling, but I think we beetled off the path and went to a magic shop there. I think you were with me, and I think you were all about it. And then you had all these like things on the plane and the bus you were doing for the boys. But forever, Merles has been a magic guy, G. Forever.
I love it.
You give him a
What?
deck of cards, he just gets going. He just starts going. He gets all cocky. He gets like, hey,
This your
what?
card? Is this
What
your card?
name a
This your
card?
card?
Pick a card. This your yeah. You start going. Boom, boom. Yeah.
Merles, why don't you use your magic and give us some picks? How about
Ooh,
that?
All right. All right. Well, talking about Vegas, Dallas is the late game, but all eyes are going to be on that first one. Vancouver, Nashville.
Oh man.
I mean, just with the goalie matchup here at home, I have to be on Nashville money line -130. You like Saros. Look at that. Nice lid there, though.
It's in Biz's room here. I saw it.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm going to use that as a prop.
Wow. So you're on the Canucks.
I like the
Yay.
Canucks.
Hey, all right.
They're starting to get it going.
All right, I'm going to tell you, I got a few picks for this game, a couple Canucks picks. So first, I got Nashville money line -130. I have Nyquist. I'm taking Nyquist to score a goal, 235, and I'm going to give you a little backstory on that because there was a horse called Nyquist, and it won the Kentucky Derby a few years back. Our boy Sweet Lou gave us the pick, and it won us all a ton of money. So it's Kentucky Derby weekend. He's playing. He's on the top line. I'll go +235 there. The other one, Peter Millar. We did this last week. Peter Millar sponsors the show. We take Elias Peterson to get a point. So Patterson over half a point, -135. And a new one, Peter Millar. Sounds like a lot like Miller. JT Miller over 2.5 shots, -125.
Wow. I love
Wow.
all the tie-ins, all of it. Pedersen is getting destroyed right now a little bit for his play. A point for him. Okay, I like that. Miller put on Shelov's brutal shirt that he had. It would look like it was crazy shirt in practice the other day. They're loose. They're feeling it. They're loose. They're okay. This series has been strange. Somehow Vancouver was up 3-1. Now it's 3-2. We'll see what happens tonight, but it might be shaping up as a really good series right now with both these teams. So I think Vancouver's starting to look more comfortable, starting to, look more like themselves. It's taken them a while here. They're still like, have moments through games where they're battling. I still stand behind this too. They should have challenged that Yossi goal, the power play goal that made a 1-1. At the time, maybe not. They're thinking, okay, we're in this game. We're not going to give them another chance on the power play. We don't want to screw it up. Maybe it's 50-50. I look at it. I think you should have. Okay, there it is. So we'll see what happens tonight. That's huge. Those are Merle's picks for that game. Unbelievable. Game 6s. We thought all these series, everyone's going, oh, they're all over so fast. And we might be headed to potentially a bunch of game 7s here as the Leafs pushed it to game 7 last night. Anything else, Merles?
Yeah, so you want to move on to the Vegas, Dallas, out in the desert. I mean, Vegas has looked pathetic. They looked awful the other night. They all look out of shape, which makes sense because none of them played any games the last month or two, depending on which guy it was. They look brutal. I haven't got word yet on which goalie's playing. It doesn't really matter. I think it's going to overtime. I haven't done a Murley special draw all year in the playoffs. This is my game. I'm going Vegas, Dallas on the draw, +310. We're going to get some high drama. We're going to have to be up late. This is it. This is the draw tonight. And I don't know who's going to win. I just saw in the chat Peter DeBoer for Peter Millar. So maybe Dallas, but
I like that.
I'm sticking in the middle. Draw. I still kind of believe in my Vegas if they can get it. Like they wake up here. I still kind of believe
Hill in the net. They're putting in the chat. Juddy.
All right.
Judy.
I don't mind that. I don't
Thank
mind
you.
that.
Hill in the net.
He didn't look great the other night either. Pucks just like hit him and go everywhere.
Dude, how about my pick? Dallas 99 Cup champs. Oz picked it. Here we go.
Good angle there.
Looking at signs, but those are your picks. There they are. They're right there.
I got a couple player props for the late game. Pietro Angelo, kind of like Peter. Everybody's been all over him, me included. Looks like he had cement in his boots last night.
Bad penalties.
Last game. Terrible penalty. So a veteran, a leader, a champion like him, he's going to get a point tonight. He's going to get something. +154 for a goal or assist. I'm taking that one. On the other side, I got to have somebody in Dallas. Who's the best golfer? We always hear about the best golfer. Peter Millar's a golf company. Joe Pavelski. Joe Pavelski get a point is -110. This guy, I know he hasn't been great this series, but he is just a gamer. Game 6 on the road. Who are you going to go to? Your old veteran like that. So Pavelski over a half a point. That's the action for tonight. A lot of action. 2 great games.
Action.
Friday night.
I'll be on both of them in studio with the boys at TNT. It'll be on TNT and True TV. You can check it out tonight too. Follow along with us all night long. I think we got to get into studio around 5 o'clock. Get ready to roll. Get ready to dance for our dinner tonight in front of everybody, all the people out there. We love you, people. Too bad there wasn't a chat on TNT show. I'd be loving that. Those are some great picks. Old veteran guys. You went with the old goats in that game.
Yeah.
And I want to bring up just some news before we get to the weekend stuff. Jack Adams finalists, Merles, were named today.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Burnett, Rick Tocchet, and Rick Bowness. All three have been selected to be finalists for this award. All 3 great years. All 3 deserving guys. So really it's pick your poison, what they did with their teams this year. And I know that we look at playoff performances, and Rick Bowness is probably licking his wounds back home at his house right now with Winnipeg, who for me was one of the more disappointing performances in the playoffs. Is up for coach of the year. I like what Rick Bowness did this year, though. Their team was right there, like all year long, top of their division, battling it out with those teams that were in that division too, which was a juggernaut. And then laid an egg in the playoffs. But congrats.
No
to those
Spencer
3.
Carberry though. That seems kind of crazy.
I would have put him in there. I would have put Carberry in there.
I mean, I would have had Carberry and Torts over Bonus. I know Torts didn't make the playoffs, but still, I think he was.
I would do
incredible all year.
I would give Talk. I would give Bonus, and I would give Carberry. That's what I would have done.
I feel like Talk came out of the gates hot. Like everybody was like, all Talk. It's got to be Talk. And I almost made a huge bet on him, and I'm really regretting it because I think it is his. But when you look at him more now, you look back, Carberry, the players he had and what he did. Yeah, look at all the players Talkett has.
Look at his numbers.
Of course,
too.
they should have been good. They
But
got
also
Demko, they had Pedersen, they got JT Miller, they got Hughes. Like they should be good.
But half of us didn't even predict the Vancouver Canucks to make the playoffs this year. Like no one thought the Canucks would be this elite as they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like they're like went to like first place right away, and like they didn't just sneak into the playoffs. But when you do look at the rosters, what Philly did and what Carberry did is different than what Bonus and Tocchet did. Is what I was trying to say. It's like they have real players.
On the coaches topic, I'd like to ask you guys real quick, and I know this wasn't in the outline or anything, but some changes made in Pittsburgh today around the coaching staff. A lot of people saying Mike Sullivan wasn't too happy with the changes that were made of firing his assistant coach. He could be next now if he gets a better job offer. What are you hearing around Mike Sullivan and the Penguins army? And I know, Merles, you predicted at the beginning of the year that he'd be out of here.
Yeah, if they didn't have a good start, I thought that he was in trouble, but they ended up doing all right.
Yeah, you said, what was the date you said? By December. if their record isn't blah blah blah. That's what you said. You gave like a record, and then you said if it's not this by December, I could see him being fired. Is what was your prediction?
But that's what they just don't have time. They don't have time to like wait around. It's
Yeah. And
you
know
knows,
what?
hey, maybe if they made a change, they would have got the 2 or 3 more
so
points.
So my big question about it, and probably everyone's who's a Pittsburgh fan or watched them, is like, why were they significantly different team at the end of the year in the last 3 weeks than what they were all season long? Like, where was that? Why wasn't that in there? What was missing? How come it just like the switch flipped? How does that happen? Another thing is Todd Reardon was let go. And I imagine, as a coaching staff, Sully doesn't want his guys to get fired. So I'm sure he was fighting for him a little bit, obviously. But when you have the power play perform like it did all year long, someone's got to pay the piper in this business. And when you look at the numbers where they sat in the power play, would they finish in the league? 30th? I think they were like 30th.
Yeah. Something like
it's crazy. Gee, get on that.
Second to last, third to last.
Yeah, if not last. Like, it was just not a good power play all year long. And ultimately, when you look at how many points they missed by and how many points a power play can gain,
third to last. They were third to last behind Philadelphia and Columbus.
Yeah. Yeah. And you look at the points and how many games you lost because your power play was not anything near what it should be. And looking at the power play even makes your head explode even more. So I think that's what happened right there with that one. It's pretty much, they're saying, I guess it's whoever ran the power play, it's a fireable offense. What happened this year, not making the playoffs and being that close and not getting in. And good guy. I chatted with him around there. Great guy. He's been a head coach in Washington. He's been in Pittsburgh a couple times, assistant coach in Washington. Great guy. Just this was a year from hell from what he was running, and it didn't work.
Do you think that clip of him with the empty board had a thing to do with it?
Yeah, it didn't help.
Also, do you think there's ever the chance that if the Leafs do lose tomorrow, Keefe gets fired and ends up in Pittsburgh with Dubas, and they do this whole
I mean, it
again?
makes so much sense. It kind of does. And maybe he's in there at an assistant's role working with Sully. I don't know if he would do that or what would happen, but yeah, that's crazy. I think Sully had a contract that he re-upped last year. So I think he's still got two I think he's up when those guys' contracts are up. Or maybe it's Sid's. I think he's got like 2 more years left on his contract too as a coach. So interesting times, man. Interesting times. Coach of the year, the Jack Adams is out. Those 3 guys. Congrats to all the other coaches. And good luck to Todd Reardon on a job search now. And then lots of coaches bouncing around all over the place this time of the year. And I probably will see more of it as we move along here, Merles. I don't know what else you want to get to before we get into the weekend. You got anything else?
No, I think everything's been talked about. I don't think anybody's talked. We talked about the Oilers. They're moved on, but that was obvious. They look good. Yeah. They look good.
They look good. Who would you rank as your best teams right now?
Best
like
team.
We're like, give me your top.
Colorado, I think has been awesome. Florida, Carolina, Dallas have impressed me the most. Edmonton under them. I don't know.
What about the Rangers?
Edmonton
you don't
up
have
with
the
those
Rangers?
Teams.
You don't have the Rangers. We didn't get to see enough about the
Because
Rangers.
they played the Capitals. I can't put much into that. I feel like, right? Like,
yeah,
the Kings were a decent team. Kings were good. Like they were a solid team, and Oilers just manhandled them. Colorado manhandled the Jets, who you included, picked to win it. Like,
for me,
you know what I mean? They beat good teams. Florida demolished Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
just champions over there. You know, I think those wins were just like they demolished these teams.
I think it's Dallas and Vegas, and then I think it's a step down. I would say Florida and Edmonton, and the reason. And Dallas. Right now, for me, they look like top to bottom 7-game series, like a battle. Like it sucks.
Like next round, like versus Colorado.
Yeah, like Colorado though is right there underneath them. They don't have, I think comparatively, like they have like the full depth team speed though. Like I don't think Edmonton, to my point, what I'm trying to say though, I think Edmonton's below that.
Yeah,
overall,
I agree.
Like they've got the razzle dazzle, they got McDavid and Leon. There's no question, but I just think top to bottom, those 2 teams with their speed, their size, their physicality, and their depth scoring ability to hurt you are higher in my ranking. Like they're a tick higher. So it'll be interesting to see how it all comes down though. But those are like kind of the top teams I'm looking at right now. And a lot of people not looking at the Rangers. They've sweepy, and we haven't seen much of them. And I don't think it was as big of a challenge at all against them. And so we're kind of left here going, okay, what are the Rangers? What are they going to actually be?
Yeah, that's how I feel. It's like, they beat the Capitals. Like, what was that? I just
did we give our predictions? Did you do the predictions already for that series? Did you do that on?
Yeah, we got everybody but me.
You got me in there. Okay,
I got Army as you got Rangers in 6.
Yeah, I do. I think they can score more. I think their goaltending and defense. I think there's more there with the Rangers in that series. Carolina, it's going to be hard. They check like crazy. They're really good. There's no question. But if you look at them, I just look at like game breaker ability. And yes, they got Gensel and, Jarvis is, unbelievable right now for them as far as production. But I look through that Rangers lineup and some of their guys get going and get hot. Like Trocheck's leading the way right now. But if Breadman was sleeping in the first round. If Breadman gets rolling, like production wise, he's game breaker status, You got Kreider at the net. You got, Fox gets down. You got all these guys. So I just think that's my opinion. 6 games, Rangers.
I'm going to warn you. Sorry to tell you this, but of all of our crew, you and the other two people that picked the Rangers are Biz and Wit. And
No
you
way.
just know how that usually ends.
Yeah.
I got Canes in 6. G and Pasha have Canes in 6. Pasha's the guy he's leading the way right now. He's 4-0 in the clubhouse.
So
Or is
maybe
up
he
to
knows
5-0?
more than
He's
us.
5-0 now.
In the
Edmonton.
chat, Sean DeBoer says Kane's depth is insane. Their depth is insane. They're good. They're a good team right through. I just think some of these other teams' depth players are better, way better. Look at Dallas. Look at Colorado, way better. But in just dealing with the Rangers straight up, I think their depth is just is good too. I think their depth is fine and doing their job and being able to perform. And at the end of it, we'll see. Libby thinks Kane's in 7. Libby's always on. Hello, Libby. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, here the
Boy,
chat
Chuck.
the chat can
Boy,
maybe
Chuck.
help me with this. I caught a little tip from my buddy Danny Stewart. He's a Troy kid that moved down to Carolina, huge Rangers jock sniffer. And he told me that when the Rangers play down in Carolina, it's like there's so many transplants that it's almost a half and half. And if you look
believe
back,
it.
they played a couple years ago, and he was like, you remember they were yelling, "Go Rangers, go," and Igor, and he goes, it's not going to be as much of a home ice as it is versus any other team except the Rangers. So that's something to think about as well.
I agree. I think that's true. I think that's true in those areas. A lot of people go down there to work and get sent down there, and I imagine that's big time true. Chatley, don't forget to think of your Chatley picks. If you're thinking A or B, it's the home teams tonight versus that's the winners of the home teams, and then the visitors. The visitors are another one. A and B. A is home, B is away. Plus 245. We'll show it to you one more time right there, and we'll give it to you in a little bit. Let's get into the weekend here, Murr. Let's get into your picks here.
I got some picks here. One game 7, baby. Game 7. EBR rule number 3. All game 7s, you always take the under. You saw me do it in Europe last week. I hit a couple easy unders in the game 7. So under 5.5, it's at minus 125 right now. That you see the game last night, it's going to only get tighter, right? The only thing you got to worry about if the team does get up a couple, the goalie pulls like you saw in Tampa. But I can't see these teams playing totally different than last night. I was shocked when I went on DraftKings today and it was 5.5. So I'm going to be all over that one. I'll probably tweet out some player props when we get closer to it. They're not up there yet as much. So there's a couple things up there. I got to wait. You got to see if Matthews is going to play and see what the lines are going to be. So I'm going to hold off on those kind of stuff.
Hey, someone in the chat just said, I don't know if you remember, sorry to cut you off. Someone in the chat just said, Oz the Mentalist said that game's going to be high scoring, he thinks.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Did he say that? I think he said that. I think that's right.
I didn't. I'm telling you, my brain broke when he predicted that, and I couldn't listen.
So
Oz
high
said
scoring.
Over. So it's me versus Oz.
Yeah, you versus the Mentalist.
Me versus O's. Me versus O's.
Here we go.
The Mentalist.
I love it.
So he said over.
You got anything on
and he thought overtime. I thought he said overtime.
He said overtime, I don't know if he said, too. I don't know.
Did he say over and overtime?
Matt Reeser says 3-3-0-T. That's what he's predicting.
Mr. Ice.
No, this is 3 plus 3 equals. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Mr. Ice, which you got to go follow him. This is what probably the best weekend to follow him when he's with Dave at the Derby, and Dave just tortures him if he doesn't give him winners. But they already had a nice winner early in the morning. They won like 20 grand on something. But my Kentucky Derby pick to get it out there forever. Get it out there for good. Forever Young. Forever Young. He's 10-1. You remember the song, Rod Stewart.
Forever young.
I'm horrible singing.
Forever young. Forever young.
Had the little redheaded kid. I think he was in a pickup truck.
I love Rod Stewart.
Cruising around. And then somebody made a remix of it. Was that Jay-Z? Had a remix of Forever Young? Whatever. Forever Young, 10-1. It's a Japanese horse. A Japanese horse has never won this Derby. The Dubai race, it's never come over and won this race or whatever one, but Forever Young, it's going to get it done this time. We're going to get through there. My second pick is called Encino, 9-1. It's sire. It means the parent of this horse is Nyquist, who we just talked about. Good bloodlines there. Hockey bloodlines. Those are my 2 Kentucky Derby picks to have out there. I'll have some updates tomorrow from the Derby party with the player props for the Bruins and maybe some exotic exotic bets is what they call it in the business army, the horse racing business.
Yeah. I love that.
That's your exactas, trifectas, all that
Yeah.
good stuff. Oh, Encino scratched already. Good job, Matt.
Well, the Sierra Leone is.
I just saw
favorite.
Nyquist and was like, I'm getting it out there somehow.
Yeah.
Nyquist is anytime goal tonight.
Encino scratch, yeah, in the chat. Thank you, Jeremy
Perfect.
Jones.
Save me a couple bucks. Save me. I'm going down to the DraftKings DK horse app. I'll be on.
I know you brought up our boy Sweet Lou here in
Lou.
Atlanta. Sweet Lou. His predictions were Sierra Leone first, Fierceness second, Mystic Dan third. That's how he thinks it's going to go. The 2, the 17, the 3.
Yeah, I think that's the 2 favorites.
Yeah. So there you go.
I think Prez has gone
Sierra Leone. Yep. Sierra Leone.
Mystic
Sierra
Dan.
Leone, everyone's saying. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be awesome. That's on Saturday. That's awesome. We got a hockey, and then we've got derby and the hockey. So it's a great day. What a weekend. What a damn weekend, Mur. Sunday. We already teed up that game. Let's get to these picks quick.
Cinco de Mayo day. So same thing. I got to wait on the player props. I don't even know if they put a puck drop time on that game yet. Have you seen anything?
I haven't seen anything. Let me check.
No, I don't know if they do 7 p.m. or because Sunday, and maybe they'll do a little earlier. But anyway, I'm going Peter Millar. It's Peter Millar day here. I'm going to be on Carolina for that series, but the New York Rangers take game 1. Rangers money line, Peter Laviolette, Peter Millar, minus 105. I will also be on the over 5.5, minus 110 on that game. They're saying 4 Eastern.
4 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I got it right here.
Absolutely love it.
And potentiality, of course, for those game 7s to pop in there as well. So stay tuned for that tonight.
Oh, so that's what they'll save those maybe for the later time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're gonna
have West Coast.
Yeah, possibly the Preds and Canucks and Golden Knights and Stars on Sunday as well. We could have back-to-back Saturdays,
Rangers.
Sundays.
Ooh, Cinco de Mayo. Get out, get some frozen Pink Whitney made margaritas.
I love it, buddy.
Some chips and salsa.
We've been on here now for an hour.
We got to get
6
going.
minutes.
Yeah.
You want to do show Mindsies, or you want to?
Yeah, I got to do my show.
Get it in there.
All right, I got to do my show. Yeah, Troy, New York. All right, so this is my rink. My dad actually designed and helped build this rink when he was working for the city of Troy. It's been shut down for maybe 10 years. They just got the money because the pipes on the bottom broke. So they got to redo it. So now this is all the Troy youth hockey people down there. We're going to get 2 rinks now. Scott Bassick there in the middle, my old RPI teammate. There's my dad, young man right there. Look at that brown station wagon. They don't make those anymore.
No, those are sick.
Yeah, there's my old man. He designed it all. This is opening night. This rink is phenomenal. Here I am getting some autographs. That's Ken Hammond. He played in the NHL. He was on the 1985 RPI championship team. See me there. Look at that guy. Man, I wish I was that thin in there. There it is. RPI captain of that 85 team. Mike Sajapor. Buddy Powers was the coach in the background. There you go. See that little logo on the side? Capital District Islanders. They were our AHL team. They used it as their practice rink. The New York Islanders used to have their training camps up here. And then you see my dad's team, the Uncle Sam's. There it is. Look how beautiful it is there.
Wow.
So this thing was shut down. We had no ice for years now. Like our beer league used to be there. We got out there. I am. Me and my brother, first guys ever to skate on that rink.
No way, buddy. This is awesome.
Yep, that was the Knickerbocker ice rink. I'm sure tons of people talked about. There we are stepping on. I got an Ottawa 67s tank top and shorts on. I was up at a tournament up there. My brother's got a legendary shirt on, the Gretzky big head shirt. I would do anything to have one of those right now.
Knickerbocker is back, baby. They're saying in the chat, it's back. Well,
Rensselaer County, Troy, New York, City of Troy, Mayor Carmelo Mantello, getting the rink back. You're called up to the show. Troy youth hockey to the moon now. Let's go.
That's awesome. Yeah, what an advantage now having a rink that's rolling. You said there's 2 sheets in there now. They added another sheet?
No, because we had this other one at Freer Park, so now we'll have 2 to use that are right in the city. So plenty of ice time for the beer leagues and for the kids.
Yeah, that's awesome. Way to go. Enjoy it. Best game in the world. Best community, too. Once you get in there, it's awesome. So that'll actually lead me into my show. And I got to give it to Bucci, our boy Bucci. Obviously, he's plugging away long hours. And it's just a couple tweets he sent out about, and you should go check them out. Here's one of them if you have time to read. I want to read the other one off for you guys. The best thing about this game, it teaches us what we attempt to teach our kids: courage, selflessness, work ethic, family, and the discipline to repeat all-out efforts over and over and over again, and the ability to adapt, and actually more important than strength and smarts. In fact, adaptability is the perfect combination of strength and smarts. He had the first one, and then this one I thought were just super inspirational about our game, why hockey players selfless because of the families. Many of these players had parents who woke up at 6 a.m., tied their skates with numb hands, and drove for hours and hours to hang out at a cold rink. Mom and dad were all in, and they loved it. And their kids saw that, they loved it, which meant naturally that their parents loved them. And when someone is convinced they are loved, they can move icebergs. Amazing little tweets he sent out there. He's a thoughtful guy. He loves the game. We all love Bucci, obviously, and he dominates with Colby Cohen on college hockey as well. So he does so much even at that level, and much more and beyond. So thank you, Bucci, for those great tweets and those great reminders of why our game's so great and where it starts, really, when you're a kid, and the love of it, and the rink, and the Knickerbocker rink. And
what a segue, by the way. That was, again, not
I
planned
know.
either.
Not
But
planned.
My dad built that rink basically for me and my brother. Like, he manipulated the city. Oh, yeah, we need a hockey rink down here. Built a whole rink. He started the Uncle Sam's high school team because my brother our high school didn't have a team. So he made that team where anybody that didn't have a high school could play on it. And we went and played all over, went to the States, blah, blah, blah. But there's so many kids that came through that rink, played in tournaments. Did I ever tell you the story real quickly when we beat Joe Thornton's team, Southwest Hawks? I think I talked about somewhere. This team was the best summer team ever assembled. Joe Thornton, Brian Campbell, names go on. They didn't lose a game. They were like 50-0, and we beat them in Detroit, Michigan in the showdown in Motown. So they were so mad. They're like 65-1 during the summer. Something that could be a lie. It could have been 30-1, but they were so mad. They drove all the way down from there to Troy to play our team in that rink, and we dusted them again. Uncle Sam's hockey.
Uncle Sam's hockey. There it is.
Best
and it's
team.
back.
Gianta,
and it's back, baby.
Conley, myself. We were the guys.
Hey, G, I don't know if you see in the rundown, I had a double show today. You want to come on? I think you're the perfect guy to give my double show and give a shout out. One last kick at it. Can you see it there?
I don't currently have it up right now.
Okay.
Jack Edwards. Let me
give him a shout. You're perfect for this.
So Jack, the Who Has More Fun Than Us crew, Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley. It's been an absolute blast having Jack Edwards as the Bruins play-by-play announcer. For those who don't know, Jack Edwards broadcasted his last game last night. It sucks that the Bruins couldn't give him a win to send him off. And it sucks that he had to go out the way he did. I don't think this was Jack's decision. He came into some speech. I don't want to say impediments, but he came into a speech issue this past year. That's been really tough for Bruins fans. And Jack made watching hockey, and a lot of people forget, like, there were some tough years for the Bruins before they signed Zdeno Chara and Mark Savard. There were a lot of, playoff-less years, and I think Jack made it watching hockey fun during that time. And I think just in general, I mean, Jack came in 08-09, but I think just during the times when it wasn't Stanley Cup or bust every year, Jack made watching hockey so fun. And on the nights when they lost, he just always kept the energy so high. And there's one I always think about, and that was in 2008, 2009, Bees versus Dallas Stars. And it was when Mark Savard, Sean Avery, Sean Thornton, it was just line brawl after line brawl. And he just made it so fun night in and night out to watch the Bruins. And people always say, like, he's the biggest homer. He's the biggest homer. That's what he's on a regional network.
Yeah, he's
supposed
to be a homer. Guy. He's
supposed to be a homer. And his crazy, like, Revolutionary War, like, sin in it, like how he would compare hockey to, like, the Revolutionary War so seamlessly. It was it was awesome. So we'll miss you, Jack. I hope they bring in Alex Faust next year. I think Alex Faust is awesome. Gary Thorne, if you could somehow get him to come back and do hockey, that would be incredible. But yeah, I'm kind of rambling here, but Jack Edwards, it was both an honor and a pleasure to watch him and grow up with him. I mean, since for the past 20 years, 19 years, it's all I've known is Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley and Boston Bruins hockey. So all the best to Jack, his family, and yeah, hopefully the Bruins can make the right decision and bring in someone great to replace a great one.
Yeah, people loved him. People hated him. There's no question. He was controversial at times, and you know, he had some things to say, and he wasn't afraid to say it. And he had to eat it a few times with the Patty Maroon thing over the last few years. The Kazari thing of recently of calling him a coward. But there's no question his heart was all Boston Bruins. Hearing some great stories from coworkers of his in the last few days about how he treats people and how he's got people's back, how he's been a team player for their network there, Nesson, in Boston for 19 years. So a voice like that on an Original Six team, with a personality like that and the way he called games with that passion and love for his Boston Bruins. Congratulations, great run. And
they don't make him like Jack anymore. If you think about it,
they don't make him like that at all. I don't think.
Yeah. They never really made him like Jack, to be honest. But yeah, I just don't think there's that. People aren't willing to push the line like Jack has and has done for the past 20 years. So he'll be very missed.
Yeah, and so we'll end on that.
Bring in the arm dog. You saw him at the FDNY game.
I can do it all. I can do it all.
Do it all. On the what was that other one with the cartoons? Was where
multiverses.
Multiverses.
Yeah, multiverses.
Do it all.
I got it all going on. I do color, I do
play by play,
I do radio.
Let's get Cruz Armstrong in the Massachusetts hockey system. That'll propel him. That'll propel him to the NHL.
Yeah, they can't afford me. But anyways, my wife's my agent. So yeah, she's got a lot to say in that. But here we go. The chat lay. Thank you, Pasha. Obviously.
Oh, I think Pasha changed that just because he's a Vancouver sniffer now.
Yeah, he's a Vancouver sniffer now. He looked under the hood. He saw it. He likes the higher odds too. Option B. Pasha. Thank you, chat. There it is. Everybody rides. We got the chat lay in. Merle's amazing. Thank you to Peter Millar. Amazing. Our sponsor today.
Check out their Kelly and Hogan hard collar polos. They're the best. Got the best. US, the sun, so you don't get sunburned like I probably am. But great stuff. Peter Millar.
Yep. Doctor Oz the Mentalist. I'm sure he gets that a lot too. Oz the Mentalist. O's the Mentalist. Check him out. Thank you for coming on and blowing our minds on making Merle's wet himself a little bit. There's no question. That was amazing stuff. So shout outs there. And like Heat Daddy said, they let us get to Friday again, boys. Here we are. We're going to have a great weekend. Tonight, couple games, game 6s. Saturday, Kentucky Derby, and then another game that night, which will be a game 7. And then the new series starts on Sunday, Rangers, Canes, possible game 7s as well on Sunday, which could set up for a pretty epic weekend for game notes and our chat. I love you guys. We're thankful for you. We made it work. We bumped the show. Thanks for sticking with us today on my travels. Have a great weekend, everybody.